WLNS is here for you with 6 News at 11.
The weather outside is frightful and dangerously cold, which is why officials are trying to keep people safe and warm. It is our top story at 11. Thank you for joining us. I'm Sherry Jones.
And I'm Siobhan Klepfer. As Kendall just explained, the temperatures outside are frigid and potentially dangerous for people without shelter.
The city of Lansing has activated its Code Blue protocol, increasing capacity at local shelters so everyone can go someplace warm. The executive director of the city rescue mission tells 6 News the number of people visiting their drop-in center has almost doubled since last year. He says the center is open to everyone and more accessible than a normal shelter.
They wouldn't go to our shelter because there are a lot of things like you have to be sober, by example. Our drop-in center does not require sobriety, just requires to be kind to others. And so most people can do that even in the state where they're maybe not sober, they can still be kind to others and still be safe.
And even people who have a warm place to stay need to be careful in this kind of weather. Portable heaters, including electric space heaters, are involved in hundreds of fires every year in the U.S. And carbon monoxide is a big concern as well. It's a deadly invisible gas with no smell or taste, and it can build up in buildings from engines, damaged heaters, or fires. So make sure your home has carbon monoxide detectors on every floor and stays well ventilated. And if you have to operate a generator, make sure it is outside and far away from any doors, windows, or vents.
Turning to politics now, lawmakers in Lansing are pushing to get lame duck legislation passed in the final days of the current session.
That's right. 3 bills that advanced in the state Senate today would create a licensing process for carbon sequestration.
And that's when carbon dioxide is literally pulled out of the air and stored, usually in reservoirs that are deep underground. Implementing this technology could help state utilities reach Michigan's goal of going carbon neutral by the year 2040. Supporters say this is not just good for the climate, it's good for the economy, since businesses have already passed over development in our state to take advantage of carbon capture programs in states like Indiana. However, our media partners at MLive report that some environmental groups are opposed to this legislation due to concerns about the underground carbon dioxide reservoirs putting groundwater at risk. Now, staying with politics, today President Joe Biden commuted the sentences of about 1,500 people who were released from prison to home confinement during the COVID-19 pandemic.
Meanwhile, President-elect Donald Trump shared some details about his mass deportation plans. Torian Small has the latest.
President-elect Donald Trump was the man of the hour at the New York Stock Exchange, ringing the opening bell the same day he was named Time's Person of the Year. Trump reflected on his comeback election victory and his second time receiving the magazine's longtime annual distinction.
I think I like it better this time, actually, but we did a good job. We had a great first term, despite a lot of turmoil caused unnecessarily. But the media's tamed down a little bit. They're liking us much better now, I think. If they don't, we'll have to just take them on again, and we don't want to do that.
In his cover story interview, Trump said pardons for many who took part in the January 6, 2021 Capitol riots would start within the first hour of his administration. Trump also vowed to deliver on his campaign promise to conduct mass deportations of more than 11 million undocumented immigrants using law enforcement and potentially the military. Federal law prevents the military from being used against civilians, but he warned, quote, "I will go up to the maximum level of what the law allows." On Capitol Hill, one of Trump's more controversial cabinet picks, Secretary of Defense nominee Pete Hegseth, met with more Republican senators and a Democrat, John Fetterman of Pennsylvania.
Are you considering voting for it?
Yeah, so it's just like it's a conversation.
Hegseth is hoping to win support from those concerned about allegations of misconduct, which he has denied. And Trump's pick for FBI Director Kash Patel returned for meetings with GOP senators, including Ted Cruz of Texas. Torian Small, CBS News, Washington.
Back here at home, Michigan State University's Veterinary Medical Center comes to the rescue of a very special animal. A police canine from Flint was exposed to dangerous drugs yesterday, but thanks to some help from vet techs at MSU, he's going to be okay. Michigan State Police say early yesterday morning, Trooper Doherty and his canine partner Thor were helping Flint police with a search warrant. Thor was exposed to unknown illicit drugs and needed immediate medical assistance. He was taken to the MSU Vet Center where he got treatment for the drugs, including Narcan. Thor is expected to make a complete recovery. He tested positive for opioids, cocaine, and THC.
There is less than 2 weeks to get your holiday shopping done, so guess what? You better get to it.
Yes, and while you're out there shopping around, how about picking something up for kids who might otherwise go without?
That would be great because it's time for our annual Highfields Toy Drive, and we're looking for new unwrapped toys, books, or clothing, and we'll accept anything for infants through 18-year-olds. You can drop off your donation right here at the WLNS TV6 studios in Lansing or at any participating Ford dealership.
And that toy drive got a huge special delivery today thanks to the United Auto Workers Local 602 retirees. They stopped by 6 News today to donate a bike and lots of toys for local kids in need, and we want to give them a big thank you. And if you would like to donate, the Highfields Toy Drive runs through Sunday. It's just one more way that 6 News is here for you.
From Storm Tracker 6, this is Weather First, sponsored by Auto Owners Insurance. Simple human sense.
Still some snow on the ground across mid-Michigan. Cooler temperatures will be sticking around for the overnight hours, but after that we will be warming things up for the upcoming weekend, so enjoy the sight of snow while you still can. Speaking of some beautiful pictures of the snow coming in, especially on our holiday lights display, the winner of today's competition is Jody Griffin from over in Bath. You can see that nice blanket of snow just reflecting all of those beautiful holiday lights. Of course, still a lot of time to submit your pictures. To do so, go to our website, WLNS.com/holiday-lights. Snowfall totals across the area as of this morning, well, we did have a pretty wide range, courtesy of some of the gusty conditions that we saw across the area. One of the highest snowfall totals was over in Hastings with 5 inches of snow. We were just above that 2-inch mark in places like Williamston and Eaton Rapids. And the further south that you go, the lighter that those snowfall totals actually got. Only a light dusting in places in Hillsdale County. Satellite and radar shows a couple of lingering lake effect snow flurries off to our west, but here not only looking at all of this dry weather across the Midwest, also skies are still relatively clear, which does mean we will still hold on to dry conditions for tomorrow, but we're also going to increase the amount of sunshine as well. Still going to have a lot of cloud cover across the area as we start the day on Friday, but it is going to decrease fairly quickly. By Friday afternoon, we will have partly cloudy conditions across the area, but temperatures still going to be well below average, only topping out in the low 20s. Cloudy conditions will return as we go throughout the day on Saturday, still holding on to dry weather. That is going to change Saturday night into early morning on Sunday as our next area of low pressure begins to move in with just some widespread rain showers in the forecast that will continue the entire day on Sunday and also into our Monday as well. High temperatures for today were extremely chilly, only making it up to 19 degrees in Lansing and Howell. 20 degrees was our high temperature over in the city of Jackson. Outside right now, again, cloudy conditions, temperatures 14 degrees in Lansing, wind chill temperatures down to 2 degrees, winds 9 miles per hour coming out of the southwest, but our winds will continue to decrease as we go throughout the overnight hours. So even as our temperatures begin to fall, feels like temperatures will begin to stay fairly moderate across mid-Michigan. We're at 13 degrees in Jackson. A peak wind gust of 22 miles per hour was reported earlier today. In a very similar situation in Hillsdale, 13 for our current temperature. Peak wind gust a whopping 31 miles per hour. As we go throughout the overnight hours tonight, again, mostly cloudy conditions will stick around. Temperatures falling down to 9 degrees, but wind chill temperatures likely going to stay above 0. And notice as we go throughout the day tomorrow, those lighter winds means that our wind chill temperatures are going to be pretty close to our actual air temperatures across the area. Again, we are partly cloudy tomorrow, highs near 22 degrees, and our 6-day forecast shows after that we keep on warming things up. Highs in the low 40s on Sunday with those widespread rain showers. Still incredibly warm on Monday. After that, though, even though we do dry things out, those temperatures are going to be a little bit closer to average.
Yeah, just a
You know, we kind of go from winter to spring in 4 days.
Winter to spring, then
That's
back
right,
to winter
right.
after that.
All right, thanks, Kendall. Well, you know what? 6 News brought back one of our favorite holiday traditions this time of year, and we're asking for your help.
We want to recognize remarkable women here in Mid-Michigan who are making a difference for their families and the Mid-Michigan community.
So if you'd like to nominate someone, just click on the Remarkable Women section of our website, WLNS.com, and then tell us all about the remarkable woman in your life.
We will pick 4 4 women and profile them during Women's History Month coming up in March. You have until December 20th to nominate someone. Coming up on 6 News at 11, the man accused of killing a healthcare CEO in Manhattan last week was apparently not a client of that company. We'll have the latest details after the break.
That and much more straight ahead.